Hello and welcome to the Trade Ideas Market Recap for Thursday, June the 5th. My name is Barry Enerson. I'm the moderator of the trading room. This is the address to get into the room. Let me bring up the charts, and this is the first trade that I took today. But before I do that, I just a quick word about this particular strategy that I introduced yesterday. Now, yesterday this was named the stacked long, and I've just renamed it. It's exactly the same strategy, but basically looking for inside days yesterday. Basically, what I do is so after the market closes today, I'm going to look for inside days, and I'm going to have a list of those stocks, and then I will put them into this particular top list window, and I'll be able to monitor them the next day. So these are the ones that I found last night. Now you can see here that I had quite a few triggers, and again, unfortunately, I was a bit distracted today, and I wasn't able to take advantage of a lot of them. Well, none of them, to be honest, and which is really too bad because when I look at BITA, the trigger, it's still up $1.40. This is what this column is telling me is how much above the trigger point the stock is. 38.73 would be the trigger. It's at 40.20 right now, which is $1.47 over that trigger. At the very top, it was $1.87 over the trigger. And so you can see here that this is still basically is 80 cents and 79 cents. $1.69 was the absolute high, but still 78 cents over. This was a tough one. I did see this right off the bat, but this is a very, very whippy stock, and I just couldn't bring myself to take it. But the bottom line is, though, that these seem to be working quite well. I've resurrected this strategy. I'll definitely be taking a really strong look at it tomorrow. Today, the market was good, of course, so you would expect that you would see stocks that are going to break yesterday's high without too much difficulty, and that's why these had a lot of triggers here and quite a few on the 20-day high break. So let's get right to the first one now. And CTL triggered at 9.59 and the price was 37.08. So we're right in this area here, and I took the trade right here at 37.11 on this green candle. A bit of a rule breaker for me. Usually I try to wait for it to go above this candle, but I thought it would. The way I looked at it is that it looked like it was going to want to hold the whole number. So I decided just to take the trade, and a little bit of angst here. I mean, it got down to 37.05, nothing dramatic. Obviously, if it had gone through the whole number, I would have been out the trade. These are 5-minute candles, so I waited a long time on this one and had a little spurt up and then a pullback and then finally another one. And I thought, okay, maybe now it will go, but it was not to be. And so I exited the trade almost out of boredom at 37.20. So took a little 9-cent gain on it and just moved on. The next trade was MDT. Now, MDT, if you saw the video yesterday, you know that yesterday I sort of did not. This was on my 20-day high break yesterday, and I failed to take it right here, even though it did break it once, and then it came back down, and it broke it again, and I should have taken it right here, and held it and held it and held it, and then I would have been insanely rewarded by this move right here. So what I did today was I decided I would at least watch the stock, put it on my watch list just to see what was happening with it, and to see if it kind of could capture the magic, some of the magic that it had yesterday. So when it broke above 62 and it held there for a while, then it took this little spurt here. I decided to take the trade, and it did move up a little bit, but I didn't get out there. Unfortunately, I let it run up, and then I got out at 62.06. I was trying to hold on maybe for a big move, but it didn't do that. So I was out for 3 cents, and I will still watch it tomorrow because it for whatever reason it had this big move yesterday, and maybe today is just taking a breather and it can resume. The next trade was LTM, and LTM came in at this price right here. Now, why I saw this, now it is on here, but it's a little bit later, but it was on another window that I had been monitoring, sort of I guess I'll call it another pseudo bounce window. And let me just show you what happened. So I saw the stock coming down like this, and I saw this candle right here. So you can see the difference is at 47.45 and 47.78. So it's quite a big candle, but the tail got me interested in perhaps shorting it because basically what happened is that the sellers drove it down, but then the buyers drove it back up, so it almost closed where it opened on that candle. So when this happened here, that next candle started coming down, I decided to take the trade as a short, not as a bounce play. And this got me out right here at 47.32. I took the trade out right here, but boy, I wish I had, if I hadn't seen this little couple of green candles here, would have been great to have held down because even if you got out around here, that would have been, well, about $1.50. So definitely an early exit for me, but nonetheless, a bit of profit and starting to take a look more at these, what I will call failed bounce plays that, I mean, you can see right here. This is a failed bounce right here, and I would have been alerted to it. I didn't take it, but LTM at 46.27. So I would have been alerted to this right here, and here's the failed bounce and then down again. So I'm going to start looking at those as because I haven't played them that much. I mean, generally what's been happening is that they've been just bouncing quite a bit, and even on but on a day, even when the market was doing well, I didn't see too many great bounce plays. So maybe just watch them for a resumption of the downturn. I know I did one yesterday like that. The next one was Honeywell, and Honeywell actually turned out pretty well. Here it is, 94.83 was the 20-day high break. So right in this area here. So I took the trade. I'm sorry, okay. The 20-day high break was 94.77. So I was alerted to it right here. And I know a couple of us got into this trade. I think somebody had the trade a little earlier than I did, not basically obviously on the 20-day high break, but I took the trade at 94.82 and held on. I almost got rid of some of it just before it broke through the whole number because again, it looked like it was going to have a bit of a tough time breaking through the whole number. We noticed here, if I look at the daily chart, that I think it's right here. Yeah, 95.16, that little spike up here. And look, I mean that's what caused it. I mean, that's one of the things, maybe this area over here too. But we were wondering how much more, how much could we get out of this? And it just had that little, it just, well, it actually, what did it do? It got as high as 95.33. So a little bit above this spike, but it basically came down. So that's what I was kind of worried about. Two things. Would it get through the whole number of 95? And then would it get stuck at that 90, at 95.16? So that's in essence what happened. I took the trade at 94.82 and I exited the trade here at 95.16. So not a bad little profit from the break of the 20-day high. The last one I did, I'll just very briefly. It was I shouldn't even really bring it up. It was very, very, very boring, and that was BK. I don't even have it marked up, but I waited forever anyway for this break of $35. It did break. I took the trade at 35.03 and I got out of it at 35 as it broke down again. But I mean, why I took it though is that when I saw this break, this big consolidation here, and then the candle here, and decent volume, thought, well, maybe it has some run in it. Because if I looked at the daily chart is kind of what got me interested. You can see all I had to do was break this area here, and then you had maybe a run up to 35.73. Not necessarily today, but that's what a lot of people are looking at. They're seeing this nice sort of void area on top. So I thought maybe we could get 20 or 30 cents from it, but just didn't happen. The only other one I want to go over is my swing trade, which has really done well for me. Again, this SYPR, I took the trade right here at 509 on this day. And now today I sold half of it at, I think it was at 615. 615, 614, something like that. So I'm still in half the trade, but this has been a really nice swing trade for me. I don't typically do swing trades, and but this has definitely been a nice trade for me. The other one that I have as a swing, and I know I've talked about it in the past, is MGNX. And again, this one has been a real tough one to hold on. Again, my average is about 20 28, I think. And I took this trade way back in this area here. So I've had to suffer through a lot of this channel. but maybe, maybe now it'll finally hold $20. I really think that if it can break through 21, then we've got this big gap to fill, or some of it anyway. I mean, and this is obviously why we're in the trade. We know that there's a hedge fund that has taken a fairly sizable position in it, and so we'll have to see. But at least now I'm positive again on this particular trade. So that's it for today. Let me just bring back the cover. Again, here's how to get into the room. And I hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow, which is Friday.